Hello grade 8 learner! Welcome to another video lesson in mathematics. In this video lesson, we will be learning how to factor quadratic trinomials, this time with a value of a greater than 1. Learning about this factoring method can help you with worded problems, especially those involving trinomials. It's another great day to learn, so grab your pen, paper, and module as you start watching and learning from this video lesson. Happy learning! This lesson is based on the K-12 curriculum learning competency. The learner completely factors different types of polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to recognize quadratic trinomials whose a is greater than 1. Follow the steps in factoring quadratic trinomials whose a is greater than 1, and apply the steps in factoring quadratic trinomials whose a is greater than 1. Let's begin with the lesson. Let us recall that the quadratic trinomial is usually written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c represent integers. Take a look at the following examples. Notice that the value of a in each of the following expressions are no longer equal to 1, like the trinomials that we have studied previously in our video lesson. This time, we will be working on factoring quadratic trinomials whose a will be greater than 1. The factors of the quadratic trinomial whose a is greater than 1 will follow the pattern shown here. Compare this pattern to the pattern for the factors of the quadratic trinomial with a equal to 1. In this pattern, the variable, represented by x, can have a numerical coefficient which is greater than 1. Take a look at the following examples. Two things are important to know in factoring this kind of trinomial. First is the factors of the first term ax squared, and second, the factors of the last term c. Let's follow then the steps involved in factoring out these quadratic trinomials. First, we identify the factors of the first term represented by ax squared. For the given polynomial, we will factor out 2x squared. Do you know what the factors are? That's right, it's 2x and x. Take note of this because we will use 2x and x as the first terms of the binomial factors we are solving for. After looking for the factors of the first term, we now look for the factors of the last term. In this trinomial, the last term is positive 5, whose factors are 5 and 1, and negative 5 and negative 1. These pairs of factors can be used as second terms of the binomial factors, depending on which pair is going to be chosen. After looking for the factors of the first and last terms, we are going to pair them together to create possible binomial factors for the given quadratic trinomial. Again, a table is useful in helping us create the binomial factors. Observe that in each pair of binomial factors, the first terms are the factors of 2x squared, while the second terms are the factors of 5. Once we've written all possible combinations of binomial factors we can see that we have 4 pairs of possible binomial factors for our trinomial. After writing down all possible binomial factors, we are now going to find out which pair of factors will give us a product equal to the trinomial we are given. We can always guess our answer and check by multiplying, but we can do a simple test to get the correct pair. Do you remember the FOIL method? Solve for the product of the outer and inner terms, then add these products together. Whichever pair of factors gets an answer equal to the value of bx, or the second term of the trinomial, that will be the correct binomial factors for the trinomial. Let's investigate our factors. For the factors, the quantity 2x plus 5 and the quantity x plus 1, we see that the outer terms are 2x and 1, while the inner terms are 5 and x. If we get the product of the outer terms, we have 2x as a result. If we get the product of the inner terms, we have 5x as a result. Now, if we add these products together, our answer is equal to 7x, but which is not equal to the second term, which is 11x. If that's the case, then the quantity 2x plus 5 and the quantity x plus 1 are not the factors of our given binomial. That means we move on to our next pair of factors. Now, what do you see here? If you do the correct process right, you'll see that the final answer is equal to the middle term of our given polynomial, which is 11x. If that is the case, then we can say that the quantity 2x plus 1 and the quantity x plus 5 are the factors of the trinomial 2x squared plus 11x plus 5. As usual, our last step is to check our answer through multiplying. Again, since the factors are binomials, we can use the distributive property or the FOIL method to multiply the factors. If we do the processes right, we can see that the product of any method is equal to the given trinomial, which means that our factors are definitely correct. Good job for following with the lesson. Let's see another example. Factor 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. To solve this, first, we identify the factors of the first and last terms of the trinomial. Remember that we choose the terms of our binomial factors from them. Therefore, we have 4x and x, and 2x and 2x as the factors of 4x squared. The factors of negative 3 are negative 3 and 1, and 3 and negative 1. Next, we write down possible binomial factors based on the combination of the factors of the first term 4x squared with the factors of the last term negative 3. Looking at the table we've made, we can see that we have a few possible binomial factors. Take note of them as we move on to the next step. Now we check which pair of factors will give us a middle term equal to the second term in our trinomial. To do that, we focus on getting the products of the outer and inner terms of our binomial factors. Since we have quite a lot, let's just pick 3 of them. For our first pair, we can see that the resulting middle term is x, which is not equal to the middle term of our trinomial, which is 4x. We follow the same process for our second pair, but we get negative 11x as our answer. Finally, we test our last pair of factors, and this time we get 4x as our answer. Thus, the factors of our trinomial are the quantity 2x plus 3 and the quantity 2x minus 1. To confirm that our factors are correct, we multiply the factors we got. So, through the distributive property and the FOIL method, we can see that the factors will have a product equal to our given trinomial, which is 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. Did you follow the lesson? Great job! We've just presented the process on how to factor quadratic trinomials where a is greater than 1. It should work on most quadratic trinomials. However, not all quadratic trinomials can be factored. Take a look at 2x squared plus x minus 5. When we write out all its possible binomial factors based on the factors of its first and last terms, we see that through our test of getting the sum of the products of the outer and inner terms of the possible binomials, there are no factors which will give us a middle term equal to x. If that's the case, then it means that the trinomial can't be factored out. So it is important to check our solutions carefully. Before we end this lesson, we practice what we have learned. Factor out the trinomial 6x squared minus x minus 2. Pause this video while you solve for the answer. Done? Did you get the factors, the quantity 3x minus 2 and 2x plus 1? Good job for getting the correct answer. Don't worry if you didn't, check the solution to see where you went wrong. Congratulations for finishing this video lesson. We hope that you have learned the concepts in this lesson and apply them in your work in your module. If there are some things that are still not clear to you, you may always rewind this video, read your module, or ask help from your teacher. Remember, your learning is always in your hands. As Richard Branson once said, you don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. Therefore, continue practicing your mathematical skills and we'll see you again in our next video lesson.